Welcome to the Analytics of Dynasty Patreon video series. This is a new one. I actually did a roster compilation video, maybe it seems like years ago now. It was probably a couple months ago or so over the summer. I am going to do another one, which is a video with regards to the standings tracker that I did. Now, this is great for me at least, and I hope you'll find it valuable. That's why I'm doing a video. One thing that is a real time crunch for me, and I'm trying to optimize, really trying to get better. I want to spend more time researching, less time clicking web pages. Trying to automate has been really, really important to me. And so what I'm going to do is show you how I've automated my standings. So it'll put it all in one place. It'll save you a lot of time in terms of going around looking at things. I think it's very valuable. I'm going to do another series on a couple of other things that I'm sort of working on in terms of trackers. But I wanted to show you this because I think it can save you a lot of time. So I have I'll do a share screen here. And we're going to look here at my screen here. Let's see here, share. There we go. Okay, so we've got. Sorry, here I'm working this here. Okay, so all right, so what we have is, and I've created this sheet here. It's a Google sheet. I think you can do it in Excel too. I have found with any of these sheets, any of these, tracker things, anything I'm trying to update, automate, have at my fingertips. I want to be able to have it on Google Sheets. That way I can get it on a phone. I can get it on on a computer. I can log onto my work computer if I want. Like I can do it from whatever form that I want to do it in. So Google Sheets has been great. I was a big Excel guy. I'm now sort of on a Google Sheets kick. Everything that I'm doing now is in Google Sheets. Like I said, because I never have to worry about my computer crashing or having access to my specific computer, all of those things, I've got all this information. So this is the 1.0 version for me. I wanted to get it in a sheet. As you'll see on the screen here, it sort of has all the stuff. Now, what you'll notice with this is these are in the first column here. I have, which is column A. I have all of my team names or league names. I was just in the process. I'm about a third, halfway through this, something like that. So I'm not all the way done with it yet, but it's going pretty well for me, and I want to get it out there because I think it's pretty valuable. So, I'm not all the way done with it, but it's a work in progress. So you'll see in the first column is the league, and I just use this as the name of the league that I'm in, and I know specifically what it is. So I name this. This is Quest 1, Quest 2, Quest 6, Quest 7, Quest 14, 19, 44. Right. And so what I do is I know my team. I know that's the name of the league, or it's a shortened version of what the league name actually is in this particular case, but I give it a name that I know exactly what it is. And then I create a corresponding sheet with it. Right. So this is basically my main tracker. This is where all of the data is going to come into, but we have to build it out. So what do we do? Well, the first thing that we do is we get a new sheet, open up a new sheet, and you can open it up down in the bottom left-hand corner. There's a little add sign that says add sheet. You're just adding a new sheet. So then what you do is Google Sheets has this great feature, which is called import HTML. And import HTML basically brings in automates a feed for you of a particular part of a website. I'm not going to get super technical into what it means, all of that. I've written the formula for you, so you don't need to sort of go any more detailed into it than that. Frankly, I'm probably not that qualified to talk about the tech of it, but so that's It's what it does, right? So it automates it. So what you'll see here is up in the corner here. I'll see if I can zoom in a little bit for you so you can see it a little bit better. I guess I'm not sure that I can do that, but anyways, what you'll see is in the top in A1, which is the top left-hand corner of the spreadsheet, I typed in equals import HTML, open parentheses, and it's up here. You can see it in the toolbar, open parentheses, and then you take you put a quotation mark in, you go to the power rankings standings portion of MFL for your particular league, and you take the page number. Now, I'll give you a quick hint here. You can use exactly what I have in here, and I can throw it into the show notes, so you can use this exact formula. The only thing that changes for all of your leagues is the 5-digit number. Right? Each league in MFL has a 5-digit number that corresponds to the league. So all of the power rankings for your particular league will have should have the exact same web address, with the exception of the 5 different numbers right here. It's after the L, right? So it says L equal. That 5 digits there is different for each league that you have. And the way you know what the number is, you just go to your league, and just see what it is in the top. It'll tell you what it is in the address bar. That's your 5-digit number for your league. So import, use the address for this, the power rankings. I use power rankings. I think you could use standings too, but I want the power rankings because it gives you more information. And put quotation marks around it. Then put a comma. Then put quotations around the word table. Put another comma, and then put 2. And basically, it's reading the second table on that sheet. The first table actually gives you what basically the heading of the sheet, which you don't. I mean, you can use it, but that's not the data that you want. The data you want is in the second table on that thing. So you put that in, and I'll just do it for you. You'll see what happens. So I'll just delete it. I'll make it a blank sheet. There it is. Okay, so you just you go right into here. You take the formula I just said, you put it right in there. In A1, hit enter. It takes a second to load it and populate it, and there you go. And this will be a feed, so when it updates, you'll get an update. It will automatically change for you. So in week 2, this will change. You don't have to copy and paste anything. You don't have to go back to the web page. You have it. So that's great. So you can do it for all your leagues. I'm in the process of doing it for all of them. I think I have, go back to my main page here. I think I have 8, 9, 10 of them done, something like that. So that will give you a different spreadsheet with each page. Now, how do you make it into one thing? So you can look at all of them on one sheet, a quick one-stop shop, tell you exactly how you're doing in any league. This is great for looking at, how am I contending? Am I building? Where am I rankings wise? I'm trying to make trades. All of that. It's a one-stop shop for information. So you don't have to go look in the standings at all anymore, right? This is it. In terms of power ranking stuff, if you want to look at the standings for divisions and stuff, you can still go do that. But this is it for power rankings. It'll tell you your win-loss, points for, potential points, efficiency, all the stuff in the power rankings at MFL, which are great. So then what you do to get it all on one page is, so you go back to your main page. I create a header here, right? First column is league. So it's exactly what I've named the league down here on the bottom, right? So this is Quest 1. So I put Quest 1 as my first league. I take my team name. I was having a little fun with an orphan adopt. I put quarantine to owner. as my team name in that league. And then what I did is for each one, I basically took the top here of the all of the stuff that comes in as the HTML feed for your league. So this is all the stuff that's on the power rankings sheet in MFL. I just took that and put it right here on top of next to team name. So that way I'm drawing in every single thing that's on the other sheets. I'm just going to do it all on one. If there's stuff that you don't want, you can take it out. You don't have to add everything. I just added everything for simplicity's sake. So then what you do is you do a VLOOKUP. And VLOOKUPs are really easy. What they do, and they're very valuable, it will look up a specific value in a specific spot, and then it will give you a value that from that row of a spreadsheet, it'll give you the particular value that you want, right? So I don't have to worry about if I'm in week 1, right, and I'm in first place. It won't matter if in week 2 I'm in 5th place, right? Like, it will always look for whatever your team name is in the power rankings for your sheet. So it's great. It'll automate it for you. You'll have to do nothing. It'll once the data automates, this will run it for you automatically. So this is what the value is of it. It's pretty valuable in terms of putting in data and searching for data. So I'll make this a little bit bigger here so you can see it. So like I said, the league is Quest 1. Then I take my team name for that particular league. I'm Quarantined Owner. And I've already copied all the stuff over here in terms of all the headings from MFL, and they're all in a row. And then so you go in here, you use a VLOOKUP. So I'm doing VLOOKUP, open parentheses. And then I'm taking, I put a money dollar sign in front of the column, which is B. So I put $ B and then 3 because that's what row I'm on. And then I put comma, the name of your team, of your league, or the sheet, whatever you've named that sheet, goes in a apostrophe, right? So it goes apostrophe, whatever the name is. So again, for this league, it's Quest 1. For all the other ones, it's Quest, you just look down, it's Quest 2, Quest 6, all of them, all the way down. It's the same number. You're looking up the sheet. So whatever sheet is named, that's what you want to name. That's what you want to put in the in between the apostrophes. So you put, so for the top one here, again, Quest 1 with a apostrophe around on either side of it. And then it's an exclamation point. And then what I do is do A through P, because that's the rows here. A is the first row of the Quest 1, the first column of the Quest 1 sheet, and then it goes all the way over to P. So you can see P is right here. That's the ultimately the win-loss percentage of in your particular league, your all-play win-loss percentage, which is super critical. So so that's 1 through A through P, and then you go and look up you put comma after A through P, and then the next thing that you're looking up is what row that you want to, or excuse me, what column you want to look in. So it will start from B. So whatever you put in, or excuse me, it'll start from A, whatever column you put in here, it'll be the second one. So this one's going to look up 2, it's going to look up B, right? So if you go back to Quest 1, I am Quarantined Owner. I'm in last place. Like I said, it's an orphan adopt. This is part of my unintentionally part of my transparency project, which is showing you a bad team. So you can see I'm 0-1, and I have the worst points for in the league by a significant margin. So I'm working the productive struggle and the full rebuild, if you will, in this league. But the thing that I'm looking for is in column B, right? That's my win-loss record. So I put in 2, right? So I put in B, money sign B3, comma, quest 1 apostrophe A through P. That's the sheet that I'm looking for and the range in that sheet that I'm looking for it. And then I put the number 2 in. We'll get to this in a second. I put plus C, $1, which is actually looking in this particular case at a blank cell. And so that's a 0. So it's 2 plus 0. Again, it's looking up the second column. And then I'm doing comma false, which you don't need to really know what that means. It's part of the formula. Just put false and just trust me on that. You don't need it to be. True has a different function, which isn't applicable in this particular scenario. End parentheses and hit enter, right? Hit enter, and then it'll give you that as the number, right? So you can go back and check it. I go back to quest 1. I look up the second column, which is column B. I'm 0, 1, and 0. And it populates right there. So that's the start of it. Now it gets super easy from there. So this is a trick that I actually learned. It's very helpful. So what I did is, again, remember with the, so I put the C money sign 1 in that formula next to the 2. And again, that's just adding a 0 because that cell's blank. The next cell over I did is I put above, in the first row of this entire sheet, I put in the next ones, I started 1, 2, 3, because what I want it to do is to add in whatever that cell is. I want it to add it to the 2. So it's looking up the next column, right? So same formula here, the money sign B3. And the reason that you're putting the money sign is if you watch, if you put the money sign in, I'll just show you here. You can just take it and drag it to the right. You get that little spot in the bottom, you can drag it to the right, and it will drag everything over. If you do not put a money sign in front of one of the, in front of any of the values, it will change it. So if I didn't put, so I'll show you here, if I didn't put the money sign in front of C, in front of the B3, for example, and I just did that, then when I go to move it, it's going to give me an error because it's going to be reading C. Right? So it's going to be looking up C3 in column A, which isn't 0, 1, 0 isn't there, right? So that's why you put the $sign in front of it. Similarly, with the numbers on the other side, when I go down to drag it to the other things, I want this. So if you look here where it says D money sign 1, it's in front of the 1 here because when I drag it, I want it to change the letter, right? I want it to change the column. So as I drag it all the way across, it's reading the same column, but I want the row to remain the same. So I don't want the row to ever change. So when I drag it down, I want the 1 to always be the same, right? Because I want it to always read 1. As I go along, I want it all to read 1. As I pull it down, I want it to all read 1. I want that top row. So that's how VLOOKUP works. And when you're using a $sign, that's why I use it. You can just use this exact formula and not really need to worry about it. But I figured that I could explain that why we're doing it. So you drag it all the way across, and you get exactly what you'll see on the other sheet. So that's how you do it. And then what you do is I add in each of my teams. You can organize them however you want. The key to it is make sure that the league name, I think the easiest way to do it is the league name that you're using should be the sheet. And then what will happen is the sheet name, you just have to change, right? When you drag this down, for example, right? If I were to do, I'll just make this a blank so I can show you how to do it here. All right, so I do that first line. I make it, I make that first line all the way out, and then I want to drag it down. So what I can do is I can highlight this whole thing. I can highlight the whole row, and then use the little thing on the bottom here, and then I can drag it down, right? And that's how I drag it down and fill in the rest of the sheets, or fill in the rest of the rows. And I gave myself an error. Why did I give myself an error? I gave myself an error because I find biggest solution, the VLOOKUP equation. Oh, right. So what it did was it changed all of the rows and everything, but I need to change the team name. So really the easiest way to do it is to ultimately, let me take a step back here. So you just go up to the first row here, the first column, which is the win-loss column. I just pull it down, just pull that one down. So now it's going to give me an error because it's going to be reading Quest 1 for my Quest 2 team name. So I just change it here to Quest 2. And I should got to do it in the right cell. Okay, Quest 2. There you go. And it populates it. So now it tells me I'm 0-1 in that league too. Get better, Jordan, get better. And I pull it all the way over. And there you go. It populates it for that. So you just have to make sure as you go down each row that it's reading the right sheet, the right team name. Don't make that, if you get an error, it's just reading the wrong sheet, just similar to like I did. Or if you name your teams all the same name, it'll just give you the same data. You don't want to do that. You want all of the data. So again, then I would have to, when I pull it down, I got to pull it down. I got to change the team name, or the league name. So I got to change it to, I got to change this one, for example, to, this is Quest 6. That's what my sheet name is. So I change it to Quest 6. And then it'll give me the number, right? And I can just go all the way down, really, like this one's Quest 7. Just pull them over to the side here, all the way over to the end, to the right. And that'll give you an idea of all of the data. So it might take some time to put in your team names, your league names, and everything like that, but it should automate. So when it updates in week 2, it'll run right from the automation. You just have to open up the sheet. It should update automatically once the data changes. And that's how you do it. So that will give you all of your power rankings and standing from the power ranking on one sheet. You can always tell sort of where you're at, and get an idea of your strength of your team. And it'll save you a lot of time in terms of moving around. So in terms of, needing to go look up, if you're in 25 leagues, you don't want to have to go open up each league, go to standings, do all that. It'll put it all in one spot. So trying to optimize and get better and get smarter. So I hope this is a useful exercise for you. I will write the HTML formulas in the show notes, so that way you have them in there, so you can just copy and paste it, really, in terms of that. And I'll actually even do the initial VLOOKUP sheet too. So so that way you can do it. So if you have any questions or anything, don't hesitate to put them in like the weekly thread or something like that, or just comment on the video. I'll be helpful if I can, but I think it's pretty simple. Sort of once you just basically use the copy and paste function, I can throw the things in there so that way you have them, and it's pretty easy. So that'll do it for this show. I hope this helps. And until next time, continue embracing the variance, and we will talk again very soon.